Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 2 of the Silva Seeds podcast. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Kalvin.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Last week we spoke about, not manifestation. What did we talk about?
We introduced ourselves, talked about our fam a little bit.
Right.
And
that woman's name, her name is Dolores Cannon, the one that I kept talking about.
Yeah, you kept saying that lady.
That lady, and I kept feeling bad. And I was going to put it in the description, but yeah, Dolores Cannon.
Mm-hmm.
We was talking about her. We was talking about like Earth School and stuff like that.
Yep.
So this week, we're talking about purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Like what our purpose is and why we're here. So what do you think, Kalvin? Do you think we have
open up the room?
Yeah, do you think that we have a purpose as a collective, or you think like individually we each have a different purpose, or both?
I think that collectively, I believe that our purpose is the same. As far as like, how can I explain that?
I feel like as a collective, our purpose is to obviously raise vibrations, but just make the earth better. Just to make, like make things better for the upcoming generations and whatnot, and like make a better earth and like become better people.
I think our purpose is to get along, honestly.
Well, don't we have to get along to make the earth better?
Yeah.
Okay, then. Become a better person and, do your thing and like try not to be an asshole to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And if everyone is just nice to everyone, like you said, get along.
Yeah, yep. Mm-hmm.
So
individually, what do you feel like your purpose is?
I feel like my purpose, I think generally speaking, like if we're looking at an umbrella, the top of the umbrella would be like my purpose is to spread love and to spread light and to spread healing and to just like, be a light. And that's also going to help like raise vibrations if I'm raising my own vibrations and working on myself.
That's a good,
yeah. So that's like the top of the umbrella. But then where I have trouble is when I'm trying to figure out like career, like specific tangible things to do. You know what I'm saying? Like I like modeling, right? And I'm like, oh, I would love to, be on this magazine and work with this person and da-da-da-da. And I love my podcast and I want to talk about this and this and this. And I want to help people through talking about this and this and this. And then I want to do music and I want to do, you know what I'm saying? Like trying to find my tangible things. Like someone's a writer, someone's, everyone has different occupations.
Right.
So like what kind of occupation or job do you have that helps you fulfill your purpose? That's where sometimes I struggle. Okay. Like overall, the umbrella, I have an idea of like why I'm here. Mm-hmm. Right? Because that's what resonates most with my soul and what makes me the most excited and like makes me feel like I'm doing something worth doing. Mm-hmm. But it's like more of like the nitty gritty, like the actual things, and getting paid and like you need money to survive, basically, especially if you're like going to be independent, you're going to need money to survive. So like what actions, like what occupations are you going to take that's going to be able to bring that to you for you to be able to live and fulfill your purpose simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
Do you feel like any career is like okay? Like how what's your opinion on like the career that you choose or whatever? Like what are the details that you feel like would be fulfilling for you?
Well, I actually have written to discuss today was like inner guidance, intuition. So I think that ties well in with career, because I think we all have like our inner GPS, just like we're going to talk about The Alchemist in a little bit and how, that is definitely a big part of the book. We all have like an inner GPS and inner guidance and inner intuition, like an all-knowing, all the answers are inside of you kind of.
What's an inner GPS?
Inner GPS? I didn't say that.
Oh, what did you say?
Oh, sorry if I'm mumbling. GPS.
Oh, okay. I'm
like an internal GPS.
I thought you said an energy BS. I'm like, an energy bullshitter? Like, is that like a meter inside?
We do have an energy bullshitter, though. We definitely have one of those.
I was
where
like,
you're like,
confused.
that's bullshit. That person is bullshitting me. Like, that's a liar. Like, that person's a fraud. We definitely have a bullshit detector.
You said that like 3 times, and I'm like, I'm trying to find the context, like the context for this stuff so I can understand what energy BS is. I was like, I just have to ask. An energy GPS.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Is that what an energy GPS? Is that even what
I don't know what the fuck.
Well, like my an inner. All right. Let's get the record straight. An inner GPS. Okay. An internal GPS. An internal guidance system.
A navigator.
Okay. That helps you navigate your path and helps you like get to the places you need to get to, meet the people you need to. Whether, even if it's like a shitty situation and you like learn lessons and stuff, like they all helps you get to where you need to get to. So I still feel like we have like that inner intuition.
Do you feel like that comes from like ancestors?
I think sometimes in terms of like guidance, that we can get outside guidance. Like I do feel like I get guidance from like I say spirit guides, right? But your spirit guides could be your ancestors, or they could be, I don't know, there's all types of things that they can be. So I just call them spirit guides like an umbrella term in general, because I don't know, I haven't gotten anything that's like, this is your ancestor, you know? Yeah. And like I haven't had anyone super duper close to me pass away yet. God forbid that, you know, I could feel like, oh, I feel like that person's watching over me or something like that. Like I don't have that yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's both though. I think I get a lot of like my intuition and stuff comes from like my higher self, on top of outside guidance. I think it's both.
Okay.
But to tie it to your question about the jobs and like your occupation and like how to find the occupation that's for you for it to fulfill your purpose.
Right.
I think that kind of goes with like your intuition. Like you kind of know if like this job is making you feel some type of way, because if something's good for you, it usually like lights you up. It makes you excited. Right. So I know if I'm like at an office job with a company that I really don't like, or like their morals are shit, or whatever, like I'm gonna internally feel like I don't like this, like I don't like what you guys are doing, I don't like your mission, I don't like you telling me what to do, and like I don't like what I'm doing.
Right.
So like internally, like that's not for me. And maybe I'm there because I'm gonna learn certain lessons and I have to take like, you know, the positives of it or whatever. There's always lessons in all your, you know, experiences anyways. But I think for me, I'm like, you know, I'm graduating in December, so I'm just at that point where I'm trying to find the like next career path that feels good for me, that feels exciting, that like makes me feel like I'm well on my way, and I'm not just like trying to make money doing something I hate, because I don't want to feel miserable.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah. Okay.
How about you? What do you think? Because you're like, you know, as far you hate like jobs, like you. No,
I don't. I want to work a job. But nah.
So talk about that. Like, how do you feel about that?
I feel like I'm an entrepreneur. I feel
intuitively, right?
Yeah, I'm not gonna like. I don't feel like I would be happy at a job unless I was creating work that I felt was meaningful. So I don't see myself being like in a career in like one lane, because there's so many like there's so many mediums and like so many ways that I want to express myself.
Yes, yeah.
You know, so it's like whether it's, that's why I could say like I'm an entrepreneur and an artist, and just like trying to educate myself more and more as a businessman, because I want to be financially free and I want to be financially literate, but I also want to express myself and not have any limits to how I express myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or
be like labeled for one, you know, be one thing.
Right.
And you can be this too.
Yeah, I could just never, I don't really see myself being in a job unless it was like something that was short term, or something that I saw as like a stepping stone that I could handle for a little while. You know what I'm saying? But I'm always going to be like I always have to be looking for what's next, you know? So yeah, that's how I'd feel like career wise, in the direction that I'm heading personally.
Yeah. And I don't think it's about like hating jobs altogether, because your job, if it's like exciting and it's something that you're enjoying, or like there's someone that works at like your boss is someone that you really like, that you can learn a lot from. Like maybe you have to do the shitty nitty gritty stuff, right? That's part of your job. But like as long as you're getting something out of it that is worth it, or you're learning something from like your superiors or something, I feel like I would be interested in that if I'm taking something that I find valuable out of the experience, you know?
Of course,
but for me to just go to a job just because and just to make my money and stuff, like it won't like sit right with my soul. So intuitively I know like, okay, that's not for me.
Right. Like I'm not the type of person that is happy with going to like a 9-to-5 job 5 days a week and then having my weekends for fun. Like that's not the type of life that I want to live. I want every single day of my life to be different. You know, like I want my life to drastically change, like every 3 years or every 5 years or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be able to experience new things. And I feel like for me personally, like when I have a job, that means I'm stationary. Like I have obligations to this job, to my boss, to people that are working here, that, you know what I'm saying? If I don't show up, then someone else has to pick up the slack.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't want to put myself in that position because it's not where I'm happy. It's not who I want to be, you know what I'm saying? And it doesn't align with me fulfilling myself. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's why I just like I don't think I would be able to fit in like a job, unless it was, like I said, something that was short term or something that.
And then all the other things that you do, especially for like a creative or an artist, like it takes away the time for you to do those things. And like if you want to go and travel or something like that, like you said, if you have like a commitment or you need to pay your rent and you have to buy groceries.
Right.
Like if there's obviously, like sometimes you just have to get a job and then do something creative on the side if that's what you want to do. And like it is what it is. You know, like if you don't have an alternative, you still have to get money, you still have to pay for your housing and stuff like that.
Right.
But it's still, you know, difficult.
Yeah, and it all depends on the type of life you want to live. That's kind of like where I'm at too, because like this is so term and like idea about leveling up, you know, and people think that like it takes money to level up or it takes this or that to level up, and in reality, like leveling up is you're leveling up a whole lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Like, because if you have this job, right, and then you want to like go buy a house or you want to go buy a car or whatever, you're dependent on that single paycheck to pay for that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, it's like you trap yourself.
You trap yourself, you know, because now you need that job. That job isn't something that you can just leave, you know, because then the lifestyle that you built for yourself and which is comfortable for you collapses. And is that a sacrifice you're willing to make? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all those things that go in your head, you know. And if you have a wife or a girlfriend or kids or people that depend on you or whatever, because of this job that you have and this lifestyle that you have, it's just like gets more and more and more deep. You know, and then you feeling trapped.
Right. Yeah, you have no other option.
I'm trying not to do that.
Yeah.
You feel me? So it's like that's why I won't even take a job right now, because for me to take a job right now, down the line, if I want to, like, for example, make some big decisions in my life or whatever that depend on that paycheck, then I would potentially subject myself to like being trapped.
Right.
You know. So I just don't.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
I don't do
unless
that.
I know that job is going to like bring me a lot. Like if I have some ideas I've talked to you about of certain like jobs that I might go for, but I would be networking with so many people, and like I would be meeting all these different people that could potentially like help me and I can help them, and we could both benefit, and it like will immerse me into an environment and an industry that I want to be a part of. But that it's like that kind of job is like giving me.
It's a stepping stone job.
Yeah, a stepping stone job, like you said you were okay with.
Yeah.
But not just a job to bring me money, because once I get a job that brings me money and I'm comfortable with this money that I'm getting, and I got my apartment, I like my apartment, like I have to go to work. I don't want to go to can't.
Or like, and it's not even a bad like don't.
We're not beating up jobs like.
Or we're not beating up jobs for money either, because if you're able to, if you work a job and you're getting your bread or whatever, I would be thinking about more on the lines, okay, how can I use this money to like either invest or to create some passive income for myself where I don't need this job to get this money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the more that you compound that, you know what I'm saying, the more investments you have, the more
that gets you out of like the rat race, basically.
Right, exactly. You need more than one source of income, and that's where your mind should be thinking. Like if you want to be financially free, you need like 7, 8, 9 forms of income.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, passive income too.
Passive income too. That's the best type of income.
Yeah.
Passive income, the type of money that you make when you sleep.
Yeah.
You know, that's what every investment
wants that.
guy, entrepreneur guy always talks about passive income, because that's the best type of income.
Right.
You know, because like you can be anywhere in the world and still be making money. You know. And you don't have to actively be working and like using your time to make that money, you know. And
you already did that.
Right.
To be in that place in the first place.
Exactly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like you don't need to be like a millionaire, not a millionaire, whatever. But you don't need a lot of money to invest or to make smart decisions with your money. You just have to know like where your money's going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you have to know like you have to understand, I'm going to work to get this paycheck. This paycheck is my at this point, I'm saying that my hour is worth this amount of money. Mm-hmm. My time is worth this amount of money. You know, so like I used to say when I was younger, I'm like, I don't want to stamp like $, I'm worth $40 an hour, $50 an hour. Like, to a lot of people that sounds like a lot of money, but $50 an hour ain't shit to me because I know where I want to go.
Right.
You feel me? So it's like I don't want to stamp, okay, I'm worth this much for my time. Like, nah, like my time is valuable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'd rather spend my time with my family, spend my time experiencing the world and like going out on trips and stuff like that. That's what makes me happy. That's like where I feel the most fulfilled in my life. So like for me to have a job or whatever for money, it's like I feel like I'm selling myself short, you know?
Yeah.
But like it's all should be like, I don't know, if you want to be financially free or whatever, you're going down this path, I just be thinking about how the hell you're gonna get this bread without having to work for it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like not having to work for other people for it or whatever, like work for yourself, be happy, like be in your own zone.
And sometimes that does include like doing the job first, like you said, to gain the capital, to invest back in yourself.
Yeah.
And then you can like get yourself out of that over time, right? Mm-hmm. And taking like making money moves.
Facts.
Or whatever, right? If you have to go to work, you have to go to work, as long as like, you know, be smart, save your money, do those kinds of things. Mm-hmm. It's not all about like, you know, fuck work. Like, I'm gonna just be doing this. Like, sometimes it is what it is, and you gotta do.
If you ain't going to work, right, that doesn't mean that you should just be a bum.
No,
you know what I'm saying.
You gotta do some type of work.
I'm not saying don't be lazy, like or whatever. Like, don't be a bum. But like, you don't have to work a job to get money. You know, and like you don't. There's money everywhere. There's money in all things. Mm-hmm. It's like we're surrounded by money. You know, it's the way I think about it. It's like. The way I choose to like, well, anybody can go to work and choose to get that money, or I choose to get my money from this place or that place. I could choose to go down the street and rob somebody and get money if I want to. That's how easy it is. I can choose to go rob a liquor store, go rob a bank and get money. You know, so it's like what's your choice? You know, like how much thought process and how much brain power goes behind the way you make your money. You know, and the more you spend time thinking about it and like making calculated moves, then the less time then you have to actually physically be on the job working.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah.
You settled?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm good.
So on the topic of money, I heard you mention choices. So I want to talk about how like choices that we make create our realities. So what do you think about that?
I think you need to elaborate.
Okay, so I don't know, like the choices that we make, I feel like sometimes people like will like point fingers and blame everyone else for like
their own mistakes.
Yeah, or like for shit just not working out the way they want it to work, or like shit just falling down, and like not everyone, but a lot of people like point fingers and they project and stuff, but like everyone has like conscious choices that they can make that have an effect, right? There's always cause and effect to everything that you do.
Facts.
And like everyone is going to go off of like your energy and like how you treat them and how you treat yourself, and you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like it all kind of works together and intertwines to create the reality that you're living. And at any moment you can, you know, reflect and start making new choices and different choices and then layer them on top of each other, and then you'll start getting like different results, right?
Yeah, 100%. I think a lot of it has to do with self-image.
How so?
Like, I think the way that you look at yourself dictates a lot of the way, like, the kind of world that you live in. You know what I'm saying? Because if, for example, like, I'm somebody that is insecure. We're all insecure in some ways.
In some ways,
you know what I'm saying? Like, but someone that's, like, insecure about whatever, and instead of, like, trying to, like, trying to, like, go and put myself in situations where I'm insecure so I can build confidence, I project my insecurities on other people's, like, as if that's their problem, that they're making me feel that type of way.
Well, let's talk about mirrors then. Do you know, like, mirrors, like, because this works perfectly with what you just said.
Okay.
Like, mirrors, how people basically reflect to you what you don't like. So say I look at some girls, right? And then I'm looking at some girls and I'm like tight about these girls that I'm looking at, and they're just making me mad. Like, I don't like their energy. I don't like how they're like, whatever they're doing is making me mad. And I've experienced this plenty of times.
Yeah.
Right? Not as much now, but definitely when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm seeing like these girls and whatever they're doing is making me upset, but really it's like they're a mirror to me. There's something in my body that needs healing.
Yeah.
There's something in my body that needs to be realized, that like there's something I need to do some work internally because of how I'm feeling. Like they're not doing nothing to me.
Right.
I'm just feeling some type of way about them, which goes to show like something about me internally that needs, needs a little remedy, that needs to be looked at.
Right. I always say like that's perfect. Like it goes into what I was in this. Like I always say that the more that you judge people, it just like goes to show how much you really judge yourself.
That's a fact. That's such a fact.
You know, like,
that's such a fact.
If I'm someone that judges everybody and judges, like, it just shows that I'm insecure as fuck.
Insecure, and you judge yourself.
And judge myself, exactly.
That's why you're so, like, that's why you project so deeply on other people. And, like, that's why you're so offended. And that's why you have so many bad things to say about everyone. You're so negative to what you're seeing, whether it's social media or people in person, this girl at the club, this guy. Because guys do it too. Girls and guys do it. This guy, I don't like
people do it in
people
general.
do it. Yeah.
But I think like it's just like a low vibrating like behavior.
Yeah, I guess so. I agree.
It's something.
Especially the more you do it, usually like, because we're all humans at the end of the day, but like at least having that conscious idea of it and trying not to do it is like a big step.
Yeah, huge.
But some people can't. Like, it don't make no type of sense. Like, it's like, you know what I'm saying?
The way I look at it, right, it's like, all right, so if I'm projecting my insecurities on somebody, right, recognizing that is like a part of the battle, right? And then going further and consciously trying to change the behavior is another step in the battle, right? And then later, like soon enough, like you're not gonna even have that thought that comes to you.
Yeah.
The more you work on reversing it, then it won't. The more that it's not going to be a thing there no more.
Yeah.
You know,
and
so
it
like
comes
if you
with
have
like
the
that
same
recognition
approach,
too.
yeah, you have to recognize the problem before you can like change the behavior.
Yeah.
Because of like at first it's something that you project on other people and other people see it in you, right? So and then it's like everyone sees that. And they can and people that know it's coming from a place of insecurity. They know it's coming from a place of like negative energy, you know. So and then it's like, all right, I don't want to project this on other people because I don't want people judging me off of this or whatever. So I'm gonna be actively conscious and I'm gonna put the work in to change this behavior. Right. And then the more you do that, right, then the thoughts aren't even gonna. The thought isn't even gonna. Eventually, the thought's gonna disappear.
Yeah,
it's gonna dissipate because it's not gonna be part of your character anymore.
Yeah,
it's not gonna.
You can
something.
reprogram yourself. You can reprogram your mind. You can reprogram the way you've been conditioned. And we all grow up different. We all are in different, circumstances and situations that we're born into, different schools that we go to, different lives that we live, and they all have a role in how we're programmed and how we're raised. Right? When we're kids, we do whatever we want, like we're mad free-spirited and stuff, but then people get to us, society gets to us, life gets to us, and it programs us, and sometimes it, it builds scars, it builds imprints in our hearts and trauma and whatever, and it fucks us up a little bit, but like we can still like unprogram those things, right? That's where affirmations come in when you're saying, I am this, positive things, right? Because if you have a negative self-talk, for example, and you're insecure and you think shitty of other people and you think shitty of yourself, right? You can unprogram that, like, with affirmations, with telling yourself the opposite, telling yourself, like, it depends on what, what it is that you're recognizing as being bad. But, like, for me and stuff, like, I'll do my affirmations, I'll write them, I'll speak them or whatever. And not everyone has to do them. Everyone has different ways that they, can go about, different strategies that they can go about with healing and, like, deprogramming, right, and whatever. But, like, affirmations, saying like, I am beautiful, I am strong, I'm a boss, I'm productive, I'm motivated, I'm like whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like all these, instead of saying, oh, I'm lazy, I'm sad, like I'm ugly, or I'm this or I'm that, like no one, you know what I'm saying? No one wants to talk to me. I need to change this because, you know what I'm saying? And then instead trying to say like positive things about yourself, the more you say those things and believe them and act, and every time you recognize and you observe your mind instead of just like being your mind, and you observe the thoughts, because you're not your thoughts. You and your thoughts are separate. You have the choice of what you want to do after your thoughts come in your head.
Okay.
So if you can consciously like observe the thoughts that you have, even the negative ones that come in, you recognize them, and then you replace them with positives over and over again, that's part of the like reprogram. Right. Just like you said, after you do that for a while, you'll start to feel it. You'll really start to feel it.
Yeah.
And then it'll be gone eventually. And that's like our minds are so freaking powerful.
Right. I've done that plenty of times in my life. Like I can give you an example. Like for a while in my teenage years, like I was very reactive to people. You know, like things people
like reactive.
I was very reactive. Like people.
Yeah,
like
me
things
too.
Things
super
that
defensive.
said, yeah, defensive, and like physical too. You know what I'm saying? Because like I'm a guy, so like the way a lot of the times like men are viewed. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta be tough.
Macho.
You gotta be macho. You know, like you like and you still like I'm a very tough macho person, but I don't have to show that side of me every time. You know what I'm saying? I'm intelligent. I can like
you can make a choice.
De-escalate the situation before it has to get physical.
Right.
You know, like the physical is like the last resort.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it can get there, but it doesn't have to get there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And like, but before when I was young, it was always like that was the first thing. The thought process never got to like de-escalating the situation. It was just like the reaction just got to just be like,
I'm gonna go off now.
Yeah, I gotta go off. And I noticed that about myself is like when I go off, I don't care about nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like when I flip the switch, I don't care who's coming. I don't care what's gonna happen. Like I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I need to do. You know?
Yeah.
And it's like and then I'm always like stuck in the situation afterwards, and I'm like, damn, I took it too far.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I'm like
you,
fuck. I wish
you come out of your character because you're not doing the before steps of thinking ahead and like de-escalating. Right. So you just go right. You go all the way. You go 100, and then after you're like, fuck, like I didn't have to do that, and like now you have the consequences of your actions.
Exactly, and now I'm sitting in here or wherever, you know what I'm saying, like dealing with this. Like I'm like, fuck, why did I do that? I shouldn't have done that.
Not even my character.
Yeah, it's like this was completely. I don't even do nothing like that. I just did it because I was pissed off, and I was trying to provoke a reaction so that I could get a reaction to do more, you know what I'm saying, or whatever the case may be.
That reminds me of our next topic.
Yeah, like so that's how it be like, you know. So and then I started to notice that about myself, you know, and I started to realize like the situations that I was putting myself in, like where I didn't want to be in that situation. It was just because I was reacting to something that someone else did, you know, or a way that somebody made me feel that I had control over, you know, and then I started like people started telling me things like that I'm a hothead or like that I'm annoying or whatever because of how reactive I am, you know. So I was like, well, I don't want those labels, you know, like I don't want that to be a part of my character. Like, so I started to I went very internal into myself, and I was like actively like being conscious about keeping it calm, cool, and collected. And over time, like now majority of the time we're out, like I'm the last person that gets into conflicts because like I don't want to get into a conflict because I already know what I can do. I already know what I'm capable of. I already know where I can get. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why do I don't need to prove nothing to nobody.
Right.
Like I already know, like I'm 10 tones to the ground. You feel me? Like
I know what you mean.
To be 100%. Like
so you don't need to get it because you know what you're gonna. You know, it's the same way with me. Like we've talked about this.
I don't need to go there because I already know what that looks like. I've been there before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like right now, I'm smart enough not to go there because there's consequences. Like when I was a kid, it was like you're a kid, but now you're a grown ass man. You do some shit, it's gonna be consequences. And I'm a black man at that in America. I'm not gonna put myself in no situation. You know what I'm saying? Like
you gotta think.
I'm all set, especially for people that don't give a fuck about their lives. You know, that haven't done the work that I've done. You know, like I'm not gonna put myself at risk for someone that doesn't care. You know, like that's not gonna happen.
Right, because you value, like, you know the work that you've put in to become who you are today. And even if you're not where you want to be in 5 years yet, like, you're still taking the steps. You're not just going to backtrack for someone else that doesn't care about you. That's, like, not as, I don't want to say doesn't care about you, but, like, really doesn't care that much about themselves, which is why they're putting...
can't care about me.
Yeah, that's why you're getting put in that type of situation.
It really
so at the end of the day, like, you got to look out for yourself. Because
it's self-image and self-love. Like... If you are someone, right, that doesn't care about yourself, right, you don't care, then you don't have the capacity to care about anybody else.
Yeah, you can't.
Like, if you can't love yourself first, then how are you supposed to love anybody? You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes no sense. It doesn't work. Like, the love comes from inside of you and out. It pours out of you into other people.
Right.
Like, that's how it works.
Right.
You feel me? So if you're someone, like I said, you're someone that doesn't care about yourself, then there's no way you can care about anybody else.
You can't.
Like, you can tell yourself that you do, but in reality, you really don't.
Yeah.
Because you're going to put yourself first in front of other people.
Yeah, and then you don't care about that. You don't care about that person if you're like, if all the choices you're making are only to benefit you, or you're making choices that hurt you that then hurt other people. Mm-hmm. You don't care about that person because you don't care about you, or you wouldn't make those choices. Right. That's a fact. Right. I wish I need like a I need like a ding every time we say like
know, we need to come up with
I'm gonna need to come and add a little jingle every time someone spits like some facts, some big facts, some keys to life.
We need like a bell or some shit.
Yeah. Ding. We need a ding. So yeah, bro. I agree with that. I really agree with that. Man. I'm like, I don't know if I want to talk about, more about self-love, self-care, or intuition.
Well, we could talk a little bit, because I was going to mention this before when we were talking about purpose and whatnot, and like where my individual, like, because we talked a little bit about purpose, and then you kind of took that, but I didn't really talk about my individual, what I believe is my individual purpose. And like, I've been thinking about this a little bit, mostly recently, more recently, and I feel like a big part of my purpose is to conquer fear.
Oh yeah.
Like I feel like fear is huge in the department of growth, and like huge in elevating my frequency and like being
I think that is for like everyone.
Yeah, it's because it's like how scared are you to take a risk? You know what I'm saying? That is huge. Good for you. You know that's what you want.
You know what I heard today, bro?
That's the best thing for you, but you're scared to go there because of like you don't want to deal with like what other people think. You don't want to deal with like all the stuff that is gonna help you grow and be the person that you want to be, or be whatever.
Right, everything great's on the other side of fear.
Yeah, everything is great on the other side of fear.
Bro, today I was on Instagram, and I have like people that like inspire me that I follow or whatever, right? And one of them was talking about like how when she hears herself like being afraid or something, she thinks about what her higher self would say to her for being afraid. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, that's facts, because if I think about my higher self like being afraid, like what she would say to me, my higher self would be pissed if she heard me saying those fears in my head. Yeah. She would be like, what are you talking about? Like, she would be like, what are you talking about? Like, you need to do this in order to be there. Like, what? You better get up and go talk to those people. You better stop playing. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you're holding your own self back.
Facts.
That's what it comes down to.
Right. And a lot of that stuff, like, it comes from, like insecurities and stuff like that, too. And I'll like even talk about myself and give examples. Like I like want to write more. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to like write music. I want to write poetry. Like I want to write more, right? But then like I'm also scared about what people would think when they read what I write, mm-hmm. or what people would think when they like see what I have to say. Like when I actually take some time to say it, mm-hmm. And like write it down and put thought into it. So like those are fears, and then so like I'll tell myself that, and I think those fears kind of like come from from having trouble reading and like writing and stuff growing up, and just like people telling me that I'm not good enough, like my writing isn't good enough, my reading isn't good enough. So it's like I have to deal with those traumas too, or whatever. Yeah. Not necessarily traumas, but like that baggage.
Right, you have to unpack
that baggage,
your experiences, your little bruises.
Right. So it's like I have to like unpack that, right? And I have to not use those reasons as an excuse to why I can't conquer my fear of writing. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so like I like I'm still struggling with that, and I'm still like trying to kind of like that's something as simple as like picking up a pen and putting it on paper. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I know.
So it's like,
but it's all part of the process and the journey. Like people are always afraid. Like even people that are quote unquote successful and in the public eye, like they can still be afraid to perform in front of millions of people, and they've already conquered a bunch of fears to get them to that place. So it's not like you only have 10 fears and then when you conquer them, like, you're never gonna have no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always a constant battle of like recognizing your fear and like trying to overcome it, right? I have fears. Like, I'm scared of mad things. Like, I'm scared of what I'm gonna do in a couple months. Like, I'm scared of what job I'm gonna go for. I'm scared of what like agencies I know I want to like sign with other agencies in like New York or LA. Like, I'm scared to even go and like go to an open casting call. Like, I haven't even gone to one. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I need to go like that. I'm not just gonna get signed just because. Like, I have to conquer that fear, and I recognize that. But like, I'm still sitting on my ass. I haven't gone to do it. I can take a bus and go and figure out dates and go, but I haven't gone because I'm scared. I talk to you about how I want to write music all the time, like. And I'll give up super quick because I'm scared. Or I'll come in the studio with you, like, oh, put me on the mic real quick. And then I'll, like, be mad shy, mad quiet. And it's like, fuck, I want to do all these things. And this podcast is something I was scared of. And here we are, like, doing it. And I'm excited about it and stuff. And it's not as scary, which is, like, everything else is not as scary anymore after you do it.
After you do it, right. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. That's a fact. It's just interesting to me because, like, I don't know. Like, I'm not scared. I don't know, like, I'm more scared of myself than anything else.
Is this like that quote?
I'm so...
Like, fear of being... that quote, your favorite quote? That long one about, like, your fear. Basically, our greatest fear is that, like, we're powerful beyond measure. Yeah. Like, we're so great. Like, our fear... We're more afraid to be great than we are to fail. Like, to be shitty. We're more... You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what... Is it on Coach Carter?
Yeah, it's in Coach Carter. That's... I remember, like... That quote is crazy because I was like 10 years old when I heard that. And like, I remember being in the movie theater and I remember when that thing came on and it like sent chills down my back. And the fact that I could understand something like that at 10 years old and it stuck with me till today, I'm 24. It's like
it resonated with you big.
It resonated with me big, and it's like that shit was deep as fuck. I'm like, I think I can memorize. I think I have it memorized. I don't know.
I mean, I can look it up real quick while you keep talking. I'll read it.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure.
I was like, he said I'll memorize it, and he starts reciting the whole thing.
It is not our light, it's not our darkness, but our light that most frightens us. There's nothing enlightened about making yourself small so other people don't feel insecure around you. We're all meant to shine as children do. And then there's some more.
Hold on, I'm mad, you guys. I'm mad. I'm mad now because Kalvin, I'm over here pulling on my phone, trying to look it up. Kalvin's like, I think I can memorize it. Like, he's going to go and do it for the next episode.
Many times. I've said it so many times.
And he just recited, like, the whole thing, basically.
Yeah, I don't have it exactly all the way memorized, but I've said it so many times, and it resonates with me, so of course I can just pick it up.
That was nice, though.
But yeah, that shit is dope. That shit is dope because it means so much. It's like, it just goes to say, like, everything that I really believe in is like there is nothing enlightened about making yourself small so other people don't feel insecure around you. There's nothing good about that because you should feel so empowered and like you should let your light and your love that grows inside you pour out of you so that you can share that with other people and then they can feel that sense of love and feel inspired to do the same thing. And then the more and more and more that spreads and like
we just leak onto each other. We literally leak love and leak our authenticity and like we all accept each other
for who we are.
And we just leak and we just love each other and our whole world becomes better.
I know, right? It's like all peace.
We're like legit the peace sign now.
Sounds like we're all tripping on acid. But yeah, that goes with like what we were talking about with like me seeing a girl, for example, and like feeling some type of way about her or whatever. Like she doesn't need to dim her light for me to feel comfortable. Right.
Why should she dim her light?
Right.
She
if
shouldn't.
Anything, it
should inspire her.
It should inspire you.
Me, yeah. To be more myself.
More of yourself, right. And stuff like that, yeah.
Yeah.
And even, not like, even if it doesn't, even if it like brings out that insecurity in you, it's up to you to recognize that.
Yeah.
You know, so either way, it should be a good.
There's a benefit. There should be a benefit for you.
Either way.
Yeah.
You know.
Because there's a reason why you feel some type of way about that person.
Right.
So what is it about them? They're like the mirror idea. Like, what is it about that person that makes you feel like something off inside? That's it. Yeah. I like that other line about the light, though. Do you remember what you said? Like something about the lightness and the darkness.
It's not our darkness that most frightens us, but it's our light.
It's our light.
Yeah, it's a fact. I said that earlier. It's like I'm more afraid of myself than anything else.
Yeah. Me too.
And like, that shit sounds crazy to me. Like,
I know.
But it's so true. Cause I think like I spend more time conquering the world than I do conquering myself.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I wouldn't say that. I spend more time out in the world than I do with myself.
Mastering yourself?
Mastering myself. And it's like cause I get up, early in the morning and like, instead of taking time to meditate and like be with myself and to like, this is stuff that you're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And like, but the stuff that I'm still yet to do,
Mm-hmm.
But like, instead of taking time to be with myself and to do that, I'm like going out and filling my days up with like external shit. But even it's still adding to like who I am and everything, because I'm growing towards something.
There should be a balance.
But there should be a balance, right? And it's like I'm trying to figure that out.
Mm-hmm. Do you want mine? We're talking about drinks for people who aren't on the video. Yeah. He finished his drink, so he's looking a little lost. So you can have mine.
And I'm like thinking about stuff too, so it's
yeah.
Like both. But yeah.
But yeah, I agree, bro. I feel like.
Oh, we got this guy.
Oh,
you came in here to. Damn, you disturbed the whole thing just to bring me a drink.
Wow, thank you. Can I have my drink back?
Yeah, you're my guy. You want to say what up? All right.
He's the behind the scenes man.
All right. He's like,
quick little interruption.
He's like, they only get to hear me on the mic. I'm spitting out fire.
I'm spitting fire.
Yeah.
1 second. Sip break.
Mm-hmm. All right, what's next on the topic of discussions? Or are we going to continue?
No, let's talk about 2 things. To begin, I want to talk, this branches off of intuition. I was just wanted to mention, like, I don't know if you have this experience. You probably do. I'd like to know, though. But I think besides, like, intuition with, like, finding the right career path for us or whatever, I think we also kind of have our intuition that, like, when we're in a space that isn't meant for us or we're doing something wrong that doesn't align with us, our intuition screams. Like, I don't know for you, but I know for me, I've been in situations. See, Ahmed is over there like, yes. He's shaking his head like, My intuition be going off. But yeah, my intuition, when I'm in a situation that's not meant for me, that makes me uncomfortable, like, my intuition will scream at me. It's like my inner child is like, get out, say no, say no, say no, get out, say no, say no. And it's going off. And I think with growing and like as I get older, I'm able to recognize that and make the better choice for myself and actually say no. But man, the amount of times I've been put in like fucked up situations because I didn't say no.
Yeah.
And my intuition is screaming at me and telling me like, sis, like, don't, no.
It's like
it knows
that
gut feeling.
Yeah.
It's in my stomach and it's just yelling at me and I'm like not trying to listen. And I think that comes with like growing older and like, I'm not super old, but growing older, having more experiences and also having the experiences where you fail, where you don't listen to your intuition and then you fuck up and then you're like, fuck, I should have listened. And that repetition of like not listening and seeing like where it leads you, or listening and seeing where it leads you to something positive, kind of creates that confidence and strengthens the intuition for you to be able to recognize it the next time you see it and say no or say yes the next time based off of, the situation. So do you think that happens to you too?
Yeah, 100%. I listen to my intuition a lot though.
Yeah.
And then even when I don't, I'm confident in my ability to adapt to situations.
But also you're a guy. So I don't know.
Have to do with that?
I'm also thinking situations with like, I don't know, with relationships, yeah, but like if I'm in like a social scene or any type of like romantic thing too, like I feel like my intuition will tell me like this isn't really for you, or you're acting kind of out of character right now, or you're being influenced by people around you or whatever like that. And I feel like, especially for a girl, because women get judged all the time, you know, for things, and men can kind of go about their business and like do what they want and not really get judged as much or in the same way that women do. If anything, men are more often praised for what they do, while women are like put down for what they do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying maybe that's why there's like a disparity, but I'm not sure.
But I get what you're saying a little bit, but I'm not a female, so I can't really go into it.
Yeah, like, I mean, women, y'all know what I'm talking about. When you have this feeling or something, and it just like feels wrong. Like there's definitely, because I know I've talked to plenty of like my.
You're gonna have to give an example.
No, I don't even need to give an example, because I know the women out there know exactly what I'm talking about. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about when your intuition is screaming at you and you're just like, you know, you can feel it, and maybe you don't do, I don't know, you don't get yourself out of the situation that you're in, but.
I think I need an example, because I want to connect with you.
Shut up, bro. I'm not giving no example. I'm not giving no example. Y'all gonna get some vulnerabilities out of me, but not today.
Oh, okay, fine. I mean, I guess I'm gonna put you on the spot.
We're not about to do it.
I done gave everybody examples in my life like 3 damn times, and then you can't give me an example?
I mean, let me think. I mean, I can give you an example like my fall semester of senior year.
Okay.
And my brother knows I'll be out with my girls. I still love my girls to this day. But I don't know. I feel like there were times when I was out like carrying myself in a way that like I didn't feel like best represented me.
Okay.
And like being in spaces that I didn't really feel like best represented me. I was just kind of there because my friends wanted to be there. But like in my soul, I'm like, yo, I don't really like this, or like this kind of makes me uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? And I could feel it in my body that it's kind of making me feel weird. But I'm not listening to it because my friends are having a good time. You know, so I'm like, okay. Okay. You know, and I'm trying to have a good time too. So I'm like, okay, well, everyone looks so happy. So I'm going to be happy too. And like that kind of influences me and stuff. But then when I go and reflect on it or whatever, like I feel some type of way about that day or that night. You know, maybe I don't like what I wore. Maybe like I wore an outfit that I felt like was too scandalous for my own comfort. Not saying that women shouldn't wear a scandalous outfit. Do what you please. Right. You know, be a baddie. Do what you got to do. Like it doesn't matter. But like maybe that outfit that I had that day, like I felt like, you know, made me feel some type of way, or I didn't like the way people was looking at me when I was in that outfit or something like that. Okay. Or like a bikini, for example. Like I've worn, Kalvin always makes fun of me. He tells me, your black thong bikini, or your black shoestring. He tells me your shoestring bikini, and I'm like, damn, like I ordered from that website not one time, but I ordered like
that was a skinny ass bikini though.
Okay, but for my own fairness, I wore a cover up basically the whole time I had it on around people. So I wasn't walking around with it all the time, but I felt but I'm just saying, in my soul, I felt some type of way about it. Like I felt super naked, you know, like too naked. I felt too naked and I didn't like it. But like, since my friends, you know, they were wearing like certain things and like we was all shopping from like the same kind of store, I like wanted to be with my girls and like, I'm like, oh, let's all be popping. Like, this is cute. But in my soul, I'm like, I kind of want to wear the other one bikini. Like, I want a little bit more coverage. You know, not complete coverage. I'm still want to, you know, be out here popping, but you know, like there's certain things that like I'll do or I'll wear that doesn't resonate with me as much as it could if I, you know, was being more authentic to myself. And my intuition will like scream at me and tell me, and then I won't really listen. And then sometimes I'll have consequences that I face. Sometimes I won't, but I'll still remember that like it was like that I felt some type of way about it.
How often do you think you find yourself in circumstances not
nearly as much not nearly as much anymore that when I was younger and stuff, because the more I do it, the more I don't listen, and the more like I have consequences, the more pissed I get, and the more pissed I get, the more pissed I get at the fact that I'm pissed. Yeah. So like I'll try to like live more in my truth, and like I'll dress how I want to dress, I'll act how I want to act, I'll be myself. You know, I'll make the choices that I feel like I need to make for myself that are best for me. And, like, I'll be okay with moving on my path, you know?
Yeah.
And I definitely think quarantine helped me find my way back to myself a little bit more too, because I was home with you guys.
Right.
You know, I'm mostly myself when I'm home, because no one's gonna put up with my bullshit or any fake nothing. Like, they're not gonna have none of that. So, you know, being around them, they know me and my soul. I'm not gonna like front, like, you know, it is what it is. So that helps me, you know, find my way and like ground myself back into like my essence, you know? And like reflecting on the last few months before quarantine, like what I was doing and how I felt and how I wasn't listening to myself, you know?
Yeah.
So once I can recognize that and like reflect and journal about it, write about it, think about it, the more I could like take steps to like become who I want to be, you know? Like we talked about, I think we talked about last episode, like, or maybe this was like something I wrote in like a caption of Instagram or something like that, but like deciding who you want to be and looking at who you are and who you were, and like being okay with the, like the progress between, you know, between all of that.
Having no regrets and like,
yeah, I mean,
in a way, and being comfortable with.
Yeah, and all of that, I don't regret any of that, because it all taught me lessons and it all like got me to where I am now, and even giving me like certain examples to talk about on my podcast, you know?
Yeah. Like
it's all part of how you become who you become.
100%. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you have any regrets in life?
I don't think so. Because sometimes I'll think back like, oh, fuck, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, that was mad dumb. You know? And I'll have those thoughts in my head, but at the end of the day, I can look and see the lesson that I got from it. And the lesson is is so valuable. And, you know, I'll just be like, oh, wow, like, the amount that I gained from that lesson, from that experience, from that fuck up, you know, from that quote-unquote mistake, it's, like, not really a mistake. Like, Ciara, she has a song called Beauty Marks, and she calls, like, her scars that she's experienced her beauty marks. You know, like, flipping it to a positive.
Right.
And I can list all of my fuck-ups, all of the things that made me uncomfortable, all of the people that I feel like took my power. And I can take my power back, and I can, you know, find the positives in everything.
Facts.
Right?
100%.
You can find all the positives.
I'm glad that you're there.
I'm definitely there, period.
That's dope, yeah.
All of them.
I think like that's a big thing that people get stuck on, is living in the past. You know, like you don't have to actually be living in the past, but having regrets is living in the past.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
because you have to move on.
And you
gotta literally lighten the load.
Right.
Lighten.
And when you regret, you know, certain things, then you're not taking what you can from that experience.
You're dwelling in the negativity of it.
Exactly. So,
I mean, it's easier said than done, especially depending on the situation, like maybe how bad it hurt your heart or whatever. Because I know for me, I have things that really hurt my heart, things that really stuck with me for a long time. You know, even things I'm going through right now that like stick with me, that I'm working through healing and stuff like that. But there's other things that I'm all healed up from, that I've taken the time to unpack. And that's why I always talk about how I like to unpack things. It's just about getting better and like recognizing, and just not letting shit make me feel bad. And like, why should I feel bad forever for like this mistake I made when I was 18, or not even a mistake, but something I did when I was 18, or something I did when I was 21, or someone that I talked to. You know what I'm saying? Like, even that term, I think it's J. Cole or Drake or something. It's like fool me once. Shame on you.
Fool me twice, can put the blame on you.
Fool me 3 times, fuck the peace sign, load the chopper, let it rain on you. Like, that's that's facts. Like, fool me once, even if I'm thinking about people, like specifically friends, like people I've talked to, or family or anything like that. Like, fool me once, like shame on you, like you did me dirty, right? But like, it's my responsibility to recognize that for what it is, to recognize your colors, to recognize your intention that I may have ignored, or I may have given you the benefit of the doubt when I shouldn't have, or I may have had my intuition yelling at me, you know, and I didn't listen, and like that will carry a lot of guilt and shame like within your body, but like I have to let that go. Like, I'm not gonna hold onto that forever. Like, for what?
Right.
Shame on you the first time, but the second time, now it's up to me, like, to take that and to not let you, like, to set my boundaries up and to not let you cross my boundaries.
Right.
You know, and to learn that lesson and take it and make sure that I apply it the next time in my life that I'm in a situation that's similar. So that I don't repeat the same patterns. Because crazy is repeating the same thing over and over again and not learning nothing from it. And you know what I'm saying?
Expecting the same result.
Expecting the same result. Yeah. I can't, like, I have to unpack it and learn, even if it takes me 6 months, a year, 3 years, 5 years, whatever. Like, I'm going to have to learn. Mm-hmm. Or else I'm going to keep being put in situations. And I generally believe that God will put you in situations worse and worse and worse until you learn the lessons that you need to learn. And I don't like getting my heart hurt. And I don't like getting, like, dealing with issues that... I don't like issues. I don't like confrontation. I like harmony and peace and love and light. So that's why I'm so big on, like, trying to figure things out and, like, learn my lessons and, like, just get better and better and better. Because I think the more I get better and better and I love myself and I do this and that, the better my life will become. Facts. And the less I'll have, like, stress and anxiety and, like, fuck shit and low vibrations. And the quicker I can get to become the person I want to be and also, like, be grateful of who I am today, like, the more I can pour onto other people and help other people while still, like, feeling like, okay, I'm full of myself. Like, I'm still good. I'm still protected. I'm still guided. I'm still loved. I'm still, like, myself. I'm still authentic. And I can still pour into you, too. Mm-hmm. Like, that's the fucking golden. That's golden. Yeah. I can help you and I could be good. Like, I don't have to be drained and you're taking all this stuff and I'm just going to be sad.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
That was a lot.
I know, but that's the end of that's the period to my...
I'm proud of you, though.
Thanks.
Good shit.
I didn't know how we were doing cheers.
No, I'm just trying to fist pump. I just have this in my hand.
Thank you. I love when you say you're proud of me since I'm your little sister.
I know. I just be like, I'd be so proud, you know. It's like, all I can do is just, like, try to give you as much knowledge that I have, you know, and then I'd just be so happy when you be saying this stuff. I'd be like, yes.
You'd be like snapping.
Yes. I'd be like, yes.
Yes, sis. Get right. You're on the right path. Look at you learning. Oh, wow. I know. But I also have to give credit to you and to my family and my friends, all of my, like, supporters, because they be hearing me rant. They be going through the motions with me while I figure out my life.
Oh, yeah.
Especially Kalvin. Kalvin's, like, probably number one on the whole list of, like, hearing my spiels and going through stuff with me.
You hear mine, though?
I was going to say, we do the same for each other. That's why we're on a podcast together.
On the way here. I won't talk about what I was feeling about.
But we always spiel to each other. You know, it's good to have, like, support in your life and, like, people that you can talk to, people that you can trust.
We're blessed.
Yeah. And not everyone has that, you know. But sometimes you have it and then you let it go. Because
or you can't recognize it.
I was going to say, because you can't recognize what you got, so you lose it. And now you're left by yourself trying to figure it out by yourself. Mm. So make sure this is a sign. If you've been looking for a sign, people, make sure you value the people that are in your life that love you and support you, okay? Because not everyone has that. I know people that don't have it, people that have been by themselves, and they got to figure it out by themselves. Like, we're also meant for connection. You know what I'm saying? Like, have gratitude for the things that you have in life, the people that you have in life, the place that you have, because there's always someone that has less than you that would want that one person or that one house or that car and, like, fucking money, $10 to put gas in their car, and you got $10, you're complaining, oh, I got no money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Obviously, I know it's easier said than done, and I be complaining too about things, but I always, like, every night and stuff, I'm always grateful. I always journal, you know, I'm writing what I'm grateful for. Even, like, unconditional love, guidance, protection, good health during these crazy times. Like, there's so much to be grateful for. And, like, you can't expect God to give you more if you can't see what's right in front of you, period. You happy? Like, he's giving me snaps. I'm getting snaps this episode.
Yes. Like, I can't even say nothing because it's like...
So you agree?
I 100% agree. It's like, it's almost... I feel like I've said these things to you before so many times.
You have.
You know what I'm saying?
But it's so like it's registering now, and I can speak it back.
That's what
like,
I'm saying.
You know, I know it.
That's why I'm like, I'm like blown back. And just like, I'm not surprised.
Right.
I'm like just happy and I'm proud. And I'm like, shit, I can't say it better. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, when the teacher, what is it? When the student starts to teach the teacher, or when the student can, you know, don't you I feel like my teachers be saying, oh, when you can teach someone, you know that you've learned it.
Then you know you've learned it, right? Yeah. Exactly. So that's, I'm just like, yo. I'm like, the reason why I'm not surprised is because I can feel like you live in it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can feel like the gratitude and like the acceptance and like.
And you see it in the way I act. Too.
Yeah, exactly.
And how I like treat people around me and how I treat myself and the things I do.
Right, and like in your ambition and stuff like that, like you're talking about like taking the time to like actually think about what you want to do and where you want to go in your life, and like 6 months ago you were like, yo, I gotta get the fuck out the house, I gotta go do this, I gotta go do that, you know. And I'm like, yo, I'm like happy for you, because I'm like, yo, you're finally starting to get it, like that like you can be happy and grateful and like
for where you are.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not trying to look so much into the future.
Yeah.
Like that's
that comparison thing. Remember we had a talk about this a few months ago? This was in the summer. We went to the gym. We talked in the car for like a few hours. And we were talking about like Instagram and social media and comparisons.
Oh, when you compare stuff.
Yeah, and like comparing's like the freaking thief of happiness.
Facts. With social media, it's so easy to compare.
So easy. I go on the popular page and I'm like, damn, I feel like shit.
I have to delete it. I have to delete it.
Yeah, he actually does delete it all the time off his app.
I delete my app because I'll catch myself scrolling and stuff like that, and like I'll see like all the glamorous shit.
Yeah, it's
you know what I'm
all
saying?
The highlights.
Like all like the chicks that got fake bodies.
Yeah.
And like
facts.
That I'll be like, damn, and then I'll be feeling some type of way. And then, like,
I be telling him, no, don't worry, they all have shitty, not all, but they all got shitty personalities. Just think about how shitty the personalities are.
But that shit
they're about to try to take all your money, whatever.
That shit gets in your head, and like, I'm a very like.
It does get in your head.
I'm strong-minded, and it still gets in my head. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I can only imagine like people that aren't like as strong-minded as me or whatever, you know, when it comes to stuff like that.
It really gets in your head.
It does. And
man, oh man. And with that algorithm, they really have you coming back to your phone. And like the muscle memory, I was telling Kalvin today, like, I had to put my phone away. I was like, I keep going on my phone. I keep opening Instagram. I keep catching myself. Like, and I'm getting pissed now. Like, this is really making me mad. Because
but you're being conscious of it.
I am, but not everyone is doing that.
For me, I have to delete the app. That's the only way I can defeat it.
No.
Because, like...
Yeah, you.
Yeah, me. I'm saying me
that's
personally.
That's a good way, though.
Because
see, Ahmed's like me too.
Because if I don't delete the app off my phone, I'll sit in my bed and like I'll wake up or I'll be bored or whatever, and my natural instinct will just to open my phone and just scroll. You know what I'm saying? And then like I'll catch myself scrolling. I'm like, what the fuck? What am I scrolling, looking on Instagram, whatever? Like, this is dumb. I'm wasting my time doing this shit. You know? So and then I'll delete the app. Like as soon as I feel that, like I'll delete the app. You know,
and then you can't do it.
Yeah, I'll like delete it, and then I'll need it for something. Like I'll need to take someone's Instagram down that I like connected with.
To re-download it.
So I have to re-download it and go through that whole process, and then when I re-download it and I do it, then it stays on my phone until I realize that I have to fucking delete it again. It's like this like thing, but at least I'm deleting it. When it's off my phone, I feel free from it.
Yeah. And you can be grateful.
Yeah.
Like you can be more present.
Right. And I'm not comparing my life to other people. I actually, this is crazy. I had this conversation with my boy the other day about, like, not about comparing, but just about living in the future, right? Mm-hmm. So I was, like, telling him.
Oh, I like this.
I was telling him, like, because he was like, yo, I'm, like, always thinking about the future and, like, trying to get to this money and all this stuff. And I'm like, bro, like, your mind is in the future, so you can't. Like, the future looks better than right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, when we think to the future, we ain't thinking of nothing terrible. We're thinking of all the good, glamorous shit that we're going to get, the life that we want. Like, the shit that we're going to achieve, you know? Like, that shit that feels good, that looks good, like, because that's what we're manifesting. That's what we want for ourselves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But when you get stuck looking in the future so much, right, then you're not going to be able to appreciate what you have now. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even feel like you can really take the right steps.
You can't, because you're gonna like try to get there too fast.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
so
saying?
Impatient.
Like you're gonna be like, damn, like why am I not there yet?
And then be all sad, and now you're present. Like,
you're gonna feel like you ain't shit. You're gonna be looking at other, like, I'm 24, so I'm gonna say other 24-year-olds. You're looking at other 24-year-olds that got shit.
That one's a big one.
Or whatever. Like that's a big one. But like in reality, right? They don't got shit more than you. You know what I'm saying? Because what you got right now is really what you should have. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're at this point in your life, like, there's a lot you could be grateful for. But you're choosing to be like, yo, like, Lil Baby's 24 years. I don't know if he's 24 years old, but he's like, Lil Baby's 24 years old and he got this, and that. He got all this money, whatever. But who the fuck knows what Lil Baby's contract looks like?
Yeah.
Who the fuck knows if he's really making this money, or whatever?
We were talking
I don't
about,
know anything about
that
him.
guy in Friday?
So I'm just
What's
saying
his
the
name?
comparison, but
that guy in Friday that made $5,000.
Yo, what's his name?
Dollars for
Chris
the whole
Tucker.
movie.
Chris
Yeah, Chris
Tucker made
Tucker.
like $5,000 on Friday.
$5,000. You know,
Yo,
Friday's a
after
classic.
agents and everyone took his money, like he made like 5 G's on that movie, y'all.
And then you're thinking, oh, they're so like they're really out here popping, making all this money, and you don't even know if they're making money.
You don't even know.
Like people can front, people can buy chains or have someone buy them a chain, and now we think they got millions of dollars. They might not. They might. I'm not saying they don't.
That's the whole thing where like
front.
fake it till you make it, because you really could.
Yeah, and then
like,
people will like be like, oh, look at he's popping now.
Mm-hmm.
I could make some music, right? I could make some music, and you guys don't know like what my streams are, but like now I have diamond bracelets, I got a rollie, and I'm doing all these professional videos. You're gonna think I'm really popping, and then the fact that I'm acting like I'm popping, you're gonna start following my shit and then giving me the actual things to be popping,
right?
Because I faked it.
Mm-hmm. That's 100%.
And I'm sure a lot of people
that's
do that.
The game.
Yeah,
that is the game. That's the game. Like that's how I want to come up though.
Yeah, no, me neither.
You know what I'm saying? Like because I feel like I'd be selling myself out, you know, like falling in that shit. Because good for everyone that did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you played the fucking system. You knew what you were doing. You smart. You know what I'm saying? Like, you understand it. You know what you have to do to get this. I get it. Right? But, like, for me, I want to create an authentic fan base. I want people to love me for who I am. You know? So, like, I'm not trying. Because I see... When it comes to shit like that, like, I feel like people create an image for themselves or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And it's hard. It's too hard for me personally to have an image and to have myself.
Right.
You know
especially
what I'm saying?
When a lot of 9 times out of 10, the image that they have for you doesn't match your authenticity.
Doesn't match who you are, right?
And so now you're like, fuck, I gotta maintain this image.
Yeah, you spend your time fueling and putting energy into an image that's not truly who you are and authentic to who you are. That's bullshit to me.
That's draining.
Like,
so draining.
That's draining as fuck. And it's like all to like maintain a lifestyle and to like, no. If I'm gonna get rich or I'm gonna get money or I'm gonna be famous or whatever, it's gonna be for who the fuck I am.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be.
If you fuck with it, you fuck with it. If you don't,
you don't. You don't. And I don't care because I'm happy with where I'm at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Period.
So it's like.
Period.
I don't give a fuck. Like.
Nah, that's facts, bro. That's 100% facts. And that's why, you know, I like this podcast, because we could just be raw, talk about what we want to talk about. And, like, we're not coming from a place where we're trying to, like, teach you everything and, like, acting like we know everything. We're just telling you our experiences, our thoughts on certain topics. Like, your thoughts can differ, whatever. Like, we expect some people's thoughts to differ, and we expect other people to resonate. And, like, either way, I don't really care. Like, I prefer that you get something out of it, obviously. But I'm getting something out of just being here with my brother having these conversations.
Facts. There we go.
So,
there you go.
Like, it is what it is. It really is what 100%. It is.
Yes.
You know?
I'm getting, like, I love these conversations. So, I'm getting.
And we do this anyway. We might as well record it.
I know,
maybe
y'all
maybe y'all will fuck with it. You know, that'd be lit.
Get some feedback, you know what I'm saying? Like, get some different topics people want to talk about.
Get some other people to come talk with us.
And then eventually, I want to make this live, you know.
Oh, yeah, live.
We're going to do this live eventually.
On YouTube, probably.
Hopefully.
YouTube live, maybe other platforms too.
Hopefully, within the next 6 months, we'll have this live.
Probably less.
Probably less.
Probably.
I'm saying 6 months because I'm giving myself time for, like
you know, life.
Shits. You know, everyone.
Oh, yeah.
But
probably
in like three months.
But we'll, you know, double just in case so y'all don't come to us talking about, you said 3 months, where's the live?
Hopefully I want to get here on live and do
that'd
like,
be lit.
I want to do Q&As and all that stuff. Yeah, of course, all that. That would be so fun. That'd be dope to have like conversations and connect with people over this platform. Like, that'd be dope.
And build a community that fucks with you. You know what I'm saying? For you. And you don't have to, like, compromise yourself. And then you're not stuck. You don't have no one, you know, bossing you around, you know, trying to make you maintain an image that isn't you.
Right.
If it's you, great. You're fucking winning.
You're winning. 100%.
But for me, I can't do that because I'll be miserable, and I can't be miserable. Like, if I'm miserable, I can only be miserable for so long. And then I'm like, all right, I got to change. Something got to change up because I'm not going down like this. Nope. Not I. You got the wrong one. So what are we about to do?
Facts.
So I might as well try and take the steps to make sure that I'm living within my truth.
Yeah.
Basically.
And I'll be there to make sure.
I know. That's why I have you here.
In the right direction.
Because I know I can't front around.
I don't be too hard on you though, because I like to let you figure it out on your own.
Okay, hold on. We should talk about this. Because I like how he said he doesn't be too hard on me, but we've had plenty of conversations with him. No. And Kayla, shout out to Kayla.
I don't like.
But also, I'm not even that difficult. Only sometimes in certain situations, but like, I'm not that bad, especially for a 22-year-old. That's also why you're not that hard on me. It's that, and the other times when you are hard on me, you're like really doing the most, and we're like, okay, you're being a patronizing asshole. And then you'll recognize and be like, I'm sorry, this is how I should have said it instead. Like, I'm coming from this place. And I'm like, I know you're coming from this place, but like the way you said it, the way you went about it. He's laughing because he's like, he kind of has an idea of what I mean because we've been through this.
No one else does. This is just like a very inside conversation, but it's okay.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Internally, I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, like, everyone's probably like, okay, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah.
I think we're good right now.
I think we're good, too.
Yeah.
Should we close out? Thank you so much for listening to the second episode of the Silva Seeds podcast. Oh, grrr. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at the Alyssa Silva. Check out my link tree. You can check out my blog. You can check out my YouTube channel. I have some videos up there, and I do plan on putting up more. And you can buy me a coffee now on my link tree.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, I sent my brother.
I need to get like you because
he needs to get like me. Buy me a coffee, okay?
It's
buy my brother a coffee. If you enjoyed today's episode, you can buy us both coffee. A coffee.
Send the money for coffee.
Send the money for some coffee so that I can be awake.
On there, my Venmo, so y'all could just send me money whenever you feel inspired. I'm just joking.
No, for real though. Like, I'm serious. You don't have to. No, everyone, you do what you want. But like, if we spit some meaningful facts that hit your heart, and you want to buy me a coffee, buy my brother a coffie, whatever.
Right. Or you want to help donate for some like equipment. Some equipment. So we can continue to expand and do what we do. Then that'd be very much appreciated.
Yeah, that'd be lit.
Yo.
And we'll keep making these episodes. DM us ideas that you have. Of course, we would love topics that you'd like us to discuss so we can, talk about things that you guys want to hear.
Facts.
Your turn.
Thank you everybody for listening. My IG, Kalvin Silva. Well, Kalvin, KALVIN _ Silva, SILVA. And then also I want to give a shout out to. Check it out.